Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of love the attention.
Everyone loves to read about your life.
What's up, too chewy?
My mom warned me about friends like
A
you.
bit overwhelming.
Hey, I'm here for the ride.
Reality.
Blessed morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever that you are listening to this episode of Back to Reality. I'm your boy Taku, and unfortunately, my boy Elle couldn't be here. Look, listen, he's spending a bit of time up north, building schools, you know what I mean, doing his own little thing. But don't worry, the vibe is still going to be high. Listen, before we do get into this episode, I do want to say that we are recording on Gadigal land, and just like always, we have some amazing guests lined up. So yeah, let's get into it. So listen, today's guests need little to no introduction, but listen, I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, so from season 9 of The Bachelor, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome to the studio, Jimmy and Holly.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Hey!
I wish they could see the energy that's in the room right now.
What was season 9?
I don't know. Was it season 9 or 10?
I don't know.
Don't worry about that.
You've done research.
I know the fact. Y'all just answer the questions. I got the energy. How you guys doing, man? Thanks for coming in.
Oh,
Y'all
we're good. We're busy mid-wedding prep.
I know, man. I know. I saw, man.
Don't
Few
get
weeks
married.
away.
Just don't get married, mate. Dude,
Well,
just
hey,
do
hey,
not.
listen. But you're a smart man, bro. You just said, look, all I just need to do is just to say yes or no. Predominantly yes, baby. Whatever you want to do, we'll do that. So that's a smart man. Now, look, for those of you guys that don't know, well, listen, if you're listening to this show right now, we talk everything about reality TV, right? But most importantly, coming back to reality after reality TV. So before we get into the actual show, let's talk a little bit about before The Bachelor. How was life before that? So, Jimmy, I know you were a pilot before, you know, getting onto the show. And Holly, what were you?
I was in fashion marketing, so
Come
I'm
on,
still
girl.
kind of doing a little bit of that but in
Okay.
my own way, you know?
Okay.
So, yeah, it was a very different time. Feels like a long time ago.
Like, to someone that doesn't know what fashion marketing is, can you?
So basically, I worked for a company called Retail Apparel Group. So they have
Okay.
like YD, Connor,
Awesome, girl,
Cash,
okay.
all of those. So I manage the marketing teams for that.
Nah, that's pretty cool, man. I like that. And, like, I can see, you know, like, the influence that you've had on this boy's dressing. You understand?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
you know, we thank God for this. she was your saving grace, huh, Jimmy?
the lovely listeners at home cannot see me at the moment. Well, they might be able to dial in, I'm sure. But she did pick my outfit today. The first one was vetoed. I walked in the room. She said, "You look like a dickhead." So I walked out of the room,
Dang.
and here I am.
That's how it goes.
Yes.
Voila. With a touch of blue on the back.
you can see who wears the pants in this relationship.
Hey, man, but it's okay. Listen, so before the show, you know, it's like, did you guys, you know, had, you know, any reality TV aspirations? Like, you guys ever want to do something? Do you see yourself doing that?
No. I was stood down from my job as a pilot during COVID, so
really?
I wasn't doing much. I was actually I was driving around Bondi servicing people's motorbikes. That was that was my hustle.
I didn't know that.
So that was what I was doing. And there was a message on Instagram one day saying, "Would you like to go on a reality TV show to find love?" And I said, "Which one?"
You specifically asked which one.
I said, "Which one?"
Nah.
No, then they said, "Oh, it's for The Bachelor," and I was like,
So
Yeah.
what would you have not done? You wouldn't have done...
"What would I have not done?"
Good question.
Because
I don't know how you
you've
do it.
asked, you've said you asked which one.
Yeah. So I actually got a message one day saying, "Do you want to go on Maps?" And I don't know how they found me, but I called Mum up and I was like, "Mum," because Mum watches Maps. I was like, "I want to go on Maps," and she's like, "Do you want to go on and have a reality career, or do you want to go on and meet someone?" And I was like, "I want to meet someone. Like, I'm not interested. I've got a full-time job. I'm too busy for that stuff." So anyway, I said no, and then a few months later, I got a message saying, "Do you want to go on The Bachelor?" And I said, would I be one of the contestants, or because I hadn't really watched much of The Bachelor before? And they said, no, you would be The Bachelor. And I was like, all right, let's just see where this ends up. You know, I'm good for trying new things and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And here I am,
Come on
3
now.
weeks.
Decision you have made.
3 weeks to the wedding,
Come on, son.
and yeah,
This is
so
beautiful,
it's
man.
all worked out well.
And what about you, Holly? So, like, did you get scouted, or like, did you have
Yeah,
to,
we were both actually asked to go on the
Okay.
show. It's not something I ever thought about. Like
Serious?
that conversation with my parents was a very interesting one because I
Really?
feel like it's probably not something that, you know, most of my family would be familiar with. My poor parents having to sit down and watch The Bachelor. I don't think my dad could have ever imagined that.
How did this conversation go? This is what
It's a really good. I remember meeting him in Surrey Hills. I met him for dinner and I said, "Dad, I think I'm going to go on The Bachelor." And first up, he said, "What is that?" So, I mean, that was actually easier. 'Cause then no, it wasn't easier because then I had to describe, okay, well, there's one man and I would be one of the 20 odd women fighting for the man's heart. And he just looked at me like,
Hope he's a good one. Hope he's a good one.
Yeah.
And then I turned up.
So that's how it was.
Should have gone on maths.
And that was it because, hey, listen, and I always talk about how, you know what I mean? Like, my parents thought, like, Love Island like was something completely different. You know what I mean? So I kind of had to butter him up a little bit. And then up until I was on the show, my mom like she's like a property manager back home, right? So like the ladies in the office, like she knew about the show, but like she didn't. And they were like, "Oh, so are you excited like to see your son like, you know, kissing and like, you know, and getting to know these other ladies?" And she's like, "What, kissing? Kissing who?" You know what I'm saying? She's a very like traditional, bro. Like, so she didn't know what Love Island was about. So anyway, so I hope that conversation was a bit easier than I.
I got a question about that. Kissing on reality TV show.
Bar.
Now, I didn't know this at the time because I've never been on it, but Holly was well versed.
I love reality
She
TV.
loves reality. No tongue is to be used when you kiss on a reality TV show. Otherwise, it looks disgusting.
God damn.
I didn't know that. And then so I'm on there. You know, they've got those aggressive close-ups of you. I don't know what it's like on Love Island, but for us, it was like the most aggressive close-up you can ever. You know, it's just massive. And you're like, you see all your like your face from different angles. You're like, oh, like anyway. And then the tongue and they include those sounds.
Yeah, man.
And it's
The
like,
ASMR
oh! And
Did I
so
mean-
I was horrified. So I look back. Luckily, our kisses on the show, Holly was like, no tongue, and it looked good. But some of the other ones, not that there was any that were
Man,
meaningful.
that made you look like a Komodo dragon. bro.
I'm like, oh.
You tried to stick your tongue in a few times.
I did. Well, you know, it's a
I was
passionate
like,
kiss.
It's like, this ain't how this movie goes.
No.
No, okay, but obviously, like, you would have known what The Bachelor, you know, like the nature of the show is. You know what I mean? Like, you trying to, you know, compete with one guy. Was that a little bit tougher, like, for you, like, coming in, like, thinking, damn, like, how am I going to win him over? Like, what was like your game plan? I guess.
Oh, yeah, I think a lot of people would think going onto reality TV, you can control your own narrative a bit. And I think that's what my headspace was. I was like, yeah, I'll be able to go on there. I'll be able to, producers won't be able to get to me, all of that. I'll be able to just like sit back and, you know, have him come to me because I don't want to look desperate. I got on there and they were like, within the first like few weeks, it was like, Holly, you're sitting back. Are you even here for the right reasons? And then I was like, oh God, I've got to make more of an effort.
And the producers do that, right? There's one action.
Yeah. So then I was like, and there are a few times where you rejected me, and obviously that wasn't shown.
Oh, shit.
I would get up and I'd go, Jimmy, so sorry. When you're done, do you mind if we have a quick chat? And you'd be like, you'd look over at your producer. Your producer would go, like, basically she wasn't on the list to talk to tonight, and I would walk back and I'd be like, nuh-uh. That's not happening again. And then the next week I'd do it again.
No, it was a tough situation because you got all these ladies coming up and they want to get to know you. You want to get to know them, and you want to give everyone equal time. But it was tough because if I'm there talking to someone, you're just constantly getting bombarded by people coming up.
Most definitely.
So for me, it was like I would have to be like, oh yeah, I'd love to talk to you in a sec, but it's brutal. So they walk up there and they go,
it is cutthroat,
okay,
bro.
and then they walk off, and it's like, oh, like I feel so bad, but it's the way.
Yeah.
It's the way.
It's just the nature of the show. Yeah.
You loved it.
No, it's brutal, man. It's
yeah.
tough. Like it's like you're shutting people down.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Real.
it was a juggle. She got there in the end, didn't you?
Hey,
No,
man,
you had
come
your
on now.
ways.
Look where we at. Absolutely. But hey, listen. So Holly, so before that, sorry, I'm going to keep asking a few more of these questions about before the show. But like, how much preparation did? This is an interesting question because it's like you don't really know how long you're going for, right? So like in your mind, how long did you think you were gonna last like on the show? Because like for example, like when you go on a Love Island, right? Like they say you guarantee at least 3 weeks you're gonna be on the show, right? Airing. So that's how much screen time you're gonna get. Is it a little bit different like with The Bachelor?
I think you've got like a week in a hotel, you know, just basically prepping for everything. And then you've got... Basically, you could be out after a week and a half, really. Go first rose ceremony. I think I had more faith in myself than that. But you also never know what's going to happen. So, yeah, it was either a week and a half or 3 months. And it ended up being, the full 3 months, didn't it?
Come on now.
So do people pack, like, if you weren't that confident, you roll up with like a little bag, like
that's what
all the
I was-
others come in like a truckload of bags. Yeah, that's all my clothes. Like I'm here for good.
I
Is that-
remember one of the girls came in with like $3,000 worth, like a whole new wardrobe, and she ended up leaving quite early.
Asshole, Jimmy.
So
Anyway.
that was so you need to refund her on that. You need to
Yeah.
reimburse her.
Hey, I feel like that's actually the reason as to why they're now 3 bachelors now.
Yeah. Bring
You're
it.
the reason why. You go, we just can't rely on the one guy, bro.
Fair enough. You know. Yeah.
Like, it's an interesting like now it's like a bit of an interesting dynamic because like you get to like follow like a bit of a storyline like with the 3 people, but I actually preferred it when it was just the one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like it's not on the maths, for instance, is on. Like, I feel like it's on every night when it's on. Bachelor's on. What was it? 3 nights a week, and so
For a shorter amount of time.
For a shorter
as
amount of
well.
time. So for us, it was like there was enough. You saw that it didn't show our full love story on the show because there's enough going on. 3 of them with the same amount of time. You just don't get to know any of the characters, and that's why
Characters.
you don't get to know any of the contestants or anyone on there because it's like you got 3 guys and all these girls, and then there's like a little bit of drama, and they follow that narrative. So it's tricky. I feel like I agree with you, Taku. I like the old sort of style a little bit better when
absolutely.
there's one guy because you can kind of follow their love story a little bit more. It gets a bit chaotic when you've got all these people
Like all
because you're
these
like,
characters, yeah.
who's this person? They're at finale. I've seen them for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, 100%. But you know, like even like right now, like there's no success at all with like the 3 bachelors coming on. You guys were actually like the last people to kind of make it 100% success rate, really.
Yeah, it's
We
pretty
bring
wild.
that up quite,
Come on now.
quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe that says something. It depends. What do people want? Do they want success stories, or do they want, to see drama? And I feel like you want to see drama, you can go to. There's other shows for that.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Batch
that's
has
true,
always
that's
been
true.
a little bit untouchable. It's been that like classic love story where people love and all the rest of it. So
Five couples from Bachelor still together, kids, marriages, all of that. We're next.
You should see-
Hey man,
5
y'all
of
next.
9. That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good success rate, though. I can't lie.
you should see if she was texting me last night. These I was on a work trip and I'm getting these messages of she's used AI to figure out what our kids would look like.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yo, that was dope.
And I'm like, I want to have kids now, like right now. Let's do it. I want kids. I want them now. I want that little kid.
They both look cute, but I
They're so
can't lie
cute.
though. I think the girl. Is,
Oh
is
yeah,
gonna
bro.
go bad.
It could go
She's
really
cute, bro.
good or really wrong.
Yeah.
Too much Jimmy, and it's just like,
It's like, hold up. We just want the skin. We just want,
that's it.
We just want the carrot.
Skin,
baby.
teeth. It's like, oh, he's got the teeth anyway, so whatever. So all these, like, my only good features.
Come
it's
on,
like
boy.
Holly's got them. So
Hey, don't worry, man. Y'all are a good mix. It's beautiful.
Thank you,
I
brother.
love it.
Reality.
After the show, now, like, talk to me a little bit about how the public, like how you guys were like out in the public, like after the show. How was that? Because that would have been like, that would have been crazy, especially like because you were just one bachelor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a pretty wild like transition to public life after. But I think that the thing that we've done and we've stayed true to is that you just another like Taku, you're good at this. I see you out at events and stuff like that. I've seen you many times, and you're just a nice guy. You don't think you're above everyone
about me,
else,
bro.
and I think it's easy. Yeah, stop it, you.
Talk about me,
Stop. Cute little cat and mouse. But I think it's easy to come out of a show and like you've got all this attention on you, and it's suddenly that you think that you're better than everyone else, and you think that everyone wants to hear what you say and do and follow you and all the rest.
Yeah.
The reality is you're just a person, and people might like you, people might hate you, but for us, it was just getting back to reality.
Absolutely.
So you see what I did there?
Hey.
boy.
Hey? But it is. It's just like getting back to doing your thing, be yourself, and if people still love you for that, great. But you don't want to. I feel like the danger is you go on these shows, you think you're like God's gift to everyone, and everyone loves you and all the rest of it,
definitely, bro, yeah.
and it just sort of like takes away from the authenticity of just who you are.
100.
So for us, back to being normal people, a normal
an easy
couple,
transition back,
going
yeah.
about our way,
Yeah.
and but it easier
life-
said than done.
Life after the show was awesome though, because I think with Bachelor you go on these extravagant dates. Like one of our first few dates was getting on a plane and going to Uluru. Like,
Okay.
you've got all these crazy dates, and you get off this thing, and you've had 3 months of televised dates, and then you've had 3 months of living in secret, and all we wanted was to just walk down the street and grab a coffee, and so you kind of start life after the show, and it's so exciting, and you're just doing the most mundane things. So I think that was probably our favorite part. I look back on those times so fondly.
Yeah, we had our first date like out. We went to an Italian restaurant in Bondi, just a low key place, and sat there and just had a pasta each and had a bottle of wine.
Do you
And
remember
the
how
whole time
awkward we were though?
we're like,
Awkward.
We were like, we've never looked at a menu. Like, oh, well, what do you want?
yeah.
What do you
What do you want? But it's like,
That was the first proper date right there.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, that shit didn't really matter.
No, and it's like, where are the cameras? Like, can we talk about this? We're like, oh, we can talk about whatever we want. So it was like, I had a burning desire to take Holly to a cafe, get a bacon egg
man,
roll,
just the simple
just
things,
a
bro.
coffee, read
That's
the paper,
beautiful.
and just chill.
And like, Holly, did you go back to your normal job as well? Right
Yeah,
afterwards?
I did for quite a while, and then I ended up kind of, Jimmy and I have been really lucky because we've I had a mixture of jobs before the show, but one of my jobs was in lifestyle journalism. So we kind of were like, what do we really want to do out of this? So many people come off reality shows and they're like, what's our niche? We're like, you're a pilot. I was in lifestyle journalism, marketing, all of that. So we're like, why don't we do something travel related? And so now we've just signed on with Luxury Escape, so we're ambassadors for them. And basically for the next 12 months, we've got 1 week out of every month where we just go somewhere and review it, and we do a show out of it. So
and that's 100 honeymoons.
Pardon?
And that's 100. 100
honeymoons.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man.
So we're doing that, and
Come on,
we've been pretty lucky out of all of it.
So now this is what I want to hear now, because it's like you had all this time, I guess, like having all these honeymoons. Is this kind of like trialing every single one of them for the one honeymoon?
Well, it's essentially, yeah, like we were like, as Holly said, we're like, okay, what can we do? What's something different that we like? What's something we love doing and something that hasn't really been done before?
Yeah.
And for us, it was the travel thing. I get cheap flights, so it's like we can
That's
go.
smart.
We
That's
just like
beautiful.
my roster comes out. All right, let's go here and figure it out. But yeah, I guess it was a test run for our own honeymoon, which is coming up, which will be awesome.
Come on.
But yeah,
I think the real honeymoon's going to be pretty good.
Yeah,
we anything that you'd like to share at all about this?
Yeah. Well, we're going to Europe, so
all right.
we got engaged in Sorrento in Italy last year. Almost our wedding is next month, and almost to the day will be when we got engaged. So we're like, boom, let's get into it. And so we got engaged in Italy, and that was the most amazing day. And
Man,
so
I saw that too, man. That was beautiful. You had no idea, huh?
Oh, no,
you didn't know.
I did.
Did you?
I'm a good actor.
She was like, I'm just going to look over out into the water.
Yeah.
My man's on his... She's
What's
like,
this?
oh my God.
No, it took me a few months to actually admit to him and break his heart that I did know. Like, you're so thoughtful, but
subtle as a sledgehammer.
But exactly, took the words right out of my mouth. He had a neck rash all day, which he gets when he's really nervous, and I was
really?
I was like, we need to hurry this up so we can just relax.
Oh, man. Damn. See, right? It's just stuff like that, man. Some of these girls, man, they just know, bro.
Oh, yeah.
How is a man meant to be spontaneous and romantic if you be analyzing all this stuff?
I don't think you've ever planned like a restaurant booking, let alone he organized this whole day of dates, like going to a cooking class in Italy, and then getting on a Vespa and going to Positano and all these things. And I was like, this guy, literally, I've had to make every restaurant booking for the last.
And do you know how hard it is to organise something for someone that is the planner in the relationship? Because without it looking sus.
See right there?
So
what I say, smart man.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, I gotta plan this day. And then I'm like, what can we do? And even like I had to set up a separate email account to be emailing various people. Her best friend was in my phone as Richard Stone when I was talking about the engagement. She still is to this day, Rich Stone. And like, so Hollywood, look, who's that Rich Stone like person? Like,
was that because of the ring?
Yeah, it was the ring, and I had
Stone.
to all that. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
See what I
okay.
did there? But I think the giveaway was probably the fact that we got on the flight, and I never care about security or anything. I'm like, whatever. Like, I trust everyone.
Yeah.
And so I had this backpack, and I had the ring inside my GoPro, inside my bag. The backpack had a lock on it, and I fell asleep. Holly said she looked over at one stage, and I'm there asleep with holding this backpack, hugging it all the way all the way to Rome.
That's a dead
And
giveaway,
she's
bro.
like,
With the padlock.
So with the padlock, I said, "Did you know?" She goes, "Backpack was a bit of a giveaway," and I was like,
Ah, damn it! Now, you know what, bro? That's your fault right there. But I would. That's a dead giveaway. But hey, still on video, that looked amazing, man. It looked like she didn't know.
It was beautiful, and she's a good actress.
So, is the wedding in Italy too?
No, wedding's in Sydney, and then straight after, pretty much almost the next day, we head straight over to Italy, and we're spending 4 weeks in Europe, Italy, Greece, and then Spain. So it'll be awesome.
Come on, boy. That's nice, isn't it? And are there any A-listers invited to your wedding? Dr. Chris, Osha?
Do you know what? It's a tough one. Taku! I must get your email address wrong, bro.
Yeah. Maybe you might have just send it to the Hotmail one. Yeah, I'm just with Gmail now.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Do you know what? We've got a lot of friends that in this industry, and like, Larry Emder, for instance, he's an awesome guy, and we chat to him all the time and all that kind of stuff. Osher as well. But with my mates, bringing one of those guys to the wedding, they're going to get heckled all night. Like, hey, Osher,
yeah,
Larry. So it's just pretty much our crew. Cam and Jules, who were on Maths years ago, we're good friends with them.
Yeah.
They were invited, but they're living in the UK now. So they were going to come back for it, and we in the end we're like, guys,
don't worry.
honestly,
Not worth it.
it's not worth it. We're not that important. So apart from that, Holly's best friend was a former Miss Universe. So I think whoever's going to be hooked up with her, she's in the bridal party. So whoever's walking down doing the entrance with her is going to be Taku's Rosie's down.
Sorry. I don't know why I raised my hand for that.
She's
Just
engaged.
reflex, you know what I'm
Yeah. Speed bump's not stop sign, but she's engaged. So apart from that, no, it's all.
And then you got one of my best friends was in Jimmy's top 4 on Bachelor, so she's another bridesmaid,
really?
Harley.
one of my exes on there. That is, it's not often you have one of your exes in the bridal party, but it's cool. We're cool now.
I was gonna ask, are there any other girls apart from Holly? Obviously, that's gonna be coming on.
There's three coming.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
So Holly's got her little
that's-
group. You know, and so we and they're awesome girls. So apart from
that's
them,
sweet.
just all my Dero mates.
That's what's up. And then what about the flowers though? You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't doing roses, right? We ain't doing roses.
No. It is a cringe-free wedding. We hope.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think if you were in charge, you probably would have picked like some sort of
Whatever's cheapest.
There would have
Man
been
said
roses
whatever's
then.
cheapest. It's like I'm gonna announce to everyone that I'm a little bit frugal.
Yeah. No, I mean, mate,
yeah.
that's why I said do not get married. If you ever have, like, just don't get. Your budget's
Don't
like
not
here.
get married. Don't have a big wedding. is what
Elope.
you're saying.
Elope.
Okay.
Elope. Yeah, because I tell you what, that is not cheap.
What about the numbers, man? How many people are coming?
I mean,
About 120.
100.
120-ish.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
Because African weddings, man.
Oh,
We
yeah.
get down. You understand? And the worst thing is with us, I'm sorry, I know this was your question, but I'm just going to interject. Because African weddings, like this is why I would love to elope if I was to get married. Because I feel like everybody and their aunties, friends, that saw you, even just for like one day, they know you like that and they're so invested in this journey and they want to be a part of the wedding. So literally the biggest wedding I think that I've been to had, I think about close to 450 or 500 people. I'm telling you, this is in Zimbabwe, bro. They would hire like a showground. It is wild. So I'm happy that we kept it at 120 for y'all.
Yeah.
121 if I'm gonna be there. Just letting you know.
yeah.
'Cause I heard that y'all need an MC.
Hey, if Holly's brother
be the
doesn't make it on
dream.
that flight, man, you're getting the dial up, brother. You're getting the dial up.
I was gonna ask Holly actually, what sort of advice would you give to the girls that are going to be coming on to The Bachelor this coming season? Any little bit of advice?
I think that I'd probably break it down into two things. The first thing is before you're even thinking about it, you've really got to ask yourself, do you have a lot of self-belief and a lot of confidence? Because if you don't, all those things will really break you. And I think there's a lot of girls that went on our season of the show that I think the experience really broke them. And you cannot control your edit. You cannot control basically anything. Once you're on that show, these things, you don't have any phones, you don't have any contact to the outside world. You know what it's like. And I think you've got to make sure you've got some real self-belief and some real confidence and you back yourself. And the other thing is, what else would I advise?
Don't kiss with your tongue.
Don't kiss with your tongue.
No lizard shit. Yep.
Yeah, I think the main thing would be the confidence aspect
bit, huh?
because no matter how, the experience even broke me a little bit and I got the best situation out of it. I got an amazing outcome with the whole thing, but afterwards, a lot of, being thrust into the spotlight, not being able to control your edit, not thinking about various things that you say, and you would know this, you go on there and you forget there's even cameras there, and there were certain things I spoke about my family and my exes and stuff like that, and
get
I'd
real
see it on
vulnerable,
national television and I'd go, oh, like even watching that the other day with your mum, I just thought, oh, I cannot believe I said that on national television.
So was that one of the things that kind of broke you a little bit? Was you looking back at the show, or like was it just in the moment you feeling like you had to fight for this guy's attention?
I think, I think I got over the fighting for the attention thing. I think that was, you just realize that's part of the process. It was really difficult. You're living with 20 other women. You're sleeping in a bunk bed with a girl who's also dating your boyfriend. I've heard that when The Bachelorette was going on, a lot of the guys would get called for a date with the girl and they'd go, oh no, we wanted to play footy all day. They just were having the best time. It was a guys club. Girls, a lot of females, when they're put in that situation, it's not as hunky dory as that. And I think, you know, I came out with a few really good friends, but the whole experience was pretty catty, and you know, all of that. So
Holly did really well to keep herself grounded, because you know, if there's anyone that can avoid any drama, it would be Holly, but she still was roped into it because obviously she was a front runner, and they tried to throw her under a bus a few times, but she just kept her cool. And I think that's the important thing when you talk about advice for people going on it, for women especially. You know, there's you see some people go on these shows and they're there to act. They want to like be the funny one. That's all good. But the guy's not going to pick you if you're just there, like, you know, making jokes about farting and all the rest of it. So I think what Holly did really well, was that she just went on there. It was like a sweet spot between, you know, you have to put yourself out there and go up and approach the Bachelor or the Bachelors or whatever. But also you need to maintain that kind of self-awareness that, you know, you are being filmed. So you kind of want to let your guard down a little bit, but not too much. But also like, just be yourself and be genuine, and don't try and be, you know, someone you've watched on the season before. Because unless you are a really, really funny person or really, you know, it's going to like, it'll look awkward.
It'll show, man. Yeah, 100%. And you know, and that's the thing, I think, even like when I was like watching like, for example, Al's, you know, season, I was just having a look at like just some of the people that I had like a perception of them, you know what I mean? Like even like when they were on, and then when they came off, and I'm like, damn, you're not really as funny as I thought you were. Stuff like that, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's just all an act, really. But like, you know, when it really does come down to it, like those people are exposed, you know what I'm saying? And even on the show, you can only wear a mask for so long, right?
Yeah.
Wait, so are you saying Al's not funny?
No, not Al. Al's friends. No, don't worry. That's my boy. He's actually funny though.
I thought you were talking about the big fella. Which, you know what? Holly watches maths, and I watched a few of them, and I saw Al on there, and I was like, he's a vibe. Like, this guy's funny.
Yeah,
and you meet him outside of it, and when I met him outside, he was exactly the same.
The exact
he
same,
didn't
bro.
change, and that's what I love about Al. He hasn't changed the whole time.
Yeah.
And kind of going back to what I was talking about before, like just staying the same person. He is funny, and he says like random shit, and it's
100%.
like, it's endearing, and I think that's why people loved him, because it's him.
Absolutely, man.
He didn't see someone on the TV show beforehand and go, oh, I'd like to be that person. Because you get outside in the real world and they'll call you bluff, and then
Absolutely.
you know,
You can't fake that shit for long.
Reality.
We do have a game that we play here. I don't know if you guys know, it's called That's Dicey. So basically what it is like is we'll give you a pair of dice, and you roll the dice, and then we just ask you a question that correlates with the number that it lands on.
Great.
You excited?
Let's do
Hit it.
it.
Let's get it.
We've got a 5.
Oh, beautiful. Let's see what 5 says. All right. This is for Jimmy. Jimmy, the commitment ring you gave Holly on the show was worth $38,000. Okay. How much is the actual engagement ring worth? Nitty-gritty.
That's good. Well, I didn't know that. We didn't know that ring, that commitment ring was worth so much. We actually Googled it about 6 months later.
Yeah.
And we're like,
Chuck it around.
she's just throwing it around. I'm like, what? And I mean, look, let's just say it's not worth 38,000, but
okay.
it certainly wasn't cheap. And I'm
sentiment is
still
there.
hurting today. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the reason why I said no roses at the ceremony. I'm like, I can't afford that shit now. I'm still paying off this thing.
But man,
No,
like,
it
I'm
was-
still hurting right now. But do you still wear the 38K one? Or, you know what I'm saying?
Do you know what? I don't. And I should wear it more, but I almost feel like it needs to be, like, I still haven't had it resized. It's still got 2 sizes because it has to fit both girls for whoever he picked. So I'm guessing they just did like a middle ground of.
Okay.
So, but no, I don't. I feel like it's something I want to keep sentimental vibes, but I don't wear that much stuff. So,
So if anyone would like a cheap ring for $39,000 plus interest,
39,000. Absolutely.
yeah.
you know,
I was
maybe
about to say.
Let's sell it.
Yeah.
I know some very good pawn shops down in Wollongong, so just give it to me. You know
Done.
what I'm saying?
Done.
Perfect.
Reality isn't going any further. I don't know where Taku is.
Hello.
I'm gone.
He's living on an island somewhere with
Yeah,
his 38K.
Living the dream.
I'm in Central Place. All right, let's go.
6.
Beautiful.
That took you a while to calculate that.
I was like, Here we go. What's something that happened during filming that you were stressing will be aired? We'll start with you.
I reckon you take this one. This is something we've never spoken about in the public before.
Are you talking about? I know what you're talking about.
Whoa.
The Elle bomb.
Oh, are you having me talking about
I
that?
think you talk about it. Let's
Okay.
do it.
This is exclusive.
Okay,
It's an
this is an exclusive. All right,
quite
so
embarrassing.
the finale night when you're both there, you're standing there, and Holly, you give the speech, and of course you let down the other girl and say, sorry, it's not you, basically. And then it comes to Holly, and Holly comes out there. I said to my producer, I'm not going to, because I'm going to only be myself on the show. If I'm not in love with someone, I'm not going to say I'm in love with someone, just for TV. So we workshopped a way around that, basically saying, I love this about you, I love this about you, and I cannot wait to see what the future has in store for us. And then Holly gets up, and Holly is like, I love you, I'm deeply in love with you. And I was awkward, and it's tough, right? So I basically was like, I love Lamp. Like, it's like that. It's like, I love this about you. I love this. But I didn't actually say, I love you. Okay. So I didn't say I love you, right? And then obviously there's 3 months till it's actually airing. And I get a call from my producer and said, hey, because about a week after or 2 weeks after we finished airing, we hung out together. And I told her I loved her, because I did. Yeah, but it's hard on the TV. I've just broken up with someone who I've said that I really like. Yeah. And suddenly I'm like, I love you. It's like weird. So I told Holly I loved her. Shortly after that, I get a call from the executive producer, and they said, hey, you know how at finale you didn't actually, she said she loved you didn't say it back? And I was like, yeah. He said, we've got a sound grab and we can make it work, right? So if we can make it work, so you say, I love you back. And I was like, yes, thank God, please do it, because I now loved her.
Yeah.
And I was like, it felt wrong that I didn't say it back.
You didn't say it back at that point, yeah.
So they made it work. So in the finale, Holly's like, I love you, and I'm like, I said back,
I am in love with you.
Yeah, I am love you. No, I was like, I
am love you.
I love you. And I said it back, I love you too, or something like that.
We would have never known, bro.
Not until today.
It was just routine. It was just like, okay, now fair enough. That's cute. That's sweet. I didn't know that. I watched your entire season, bro.
Oh, really?
I didn't want to say that up until we're leaving. But anyway, so I thought I didn't know that. I thought maybe something that you were going to say was, something that we didn't, see.
You could also
during
talk about
the boner. Yes.
Oh, boner episode. You love the juicy stuff. Do you want to say it, or you want me to say it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I can't. What actually? It was quite I think it was about 2 months in. So I think the difference between 2 months into filming, yeah. And I think the difference between something like The Bachelor and something like Love Island is you guys obviously get to get a bit intimate.
Yeah,
it's kind of the whole, like I'm watching Love Island UK right now, and I'm all about the under the sheets. Like,
yeah, man.
I love that stuff.
We want to see some action.
Yeah. But because we don't really get that option, and even when we're off camera, you've got a minder and a producer at all times. So even if we were kind of off camera, like we'd go for a kiss and they'd be like, okay, guys, like, save it for camera. Like you just cannot. So we had one date when it was freezing cold. We were in the water. And
backstory here before she throws me under the bus. Backstory. Do you remember blue balls as a kid? Do you know the saying blue balls?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So when you when it's like when you kind of get there but you don't, right? It's like you when you're a kid, you go and hang out at the movies or whatever, and you really like that person, you get all excited, and then you go home, right? So that was what it was like for me for 3 months, because you're kissing, and then it's like, cool, all right, that's it, you go off.
But just with me, right?
Just with Holly, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But so there was a lot of build up between. There was a lot of build up between us, right? And so that's the sort of, basically, it's quite easy to get yourself excited.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? On that.
No,
so you wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for the build up?
No, of course. But it was just a bit more. Anyway, so
let's just stop now.
Yeah.
I think.
So continue.
Oh yeah. So basically, we're on a lovely date. We're on a nice picnic rug. We had a rug over us. And we'll kind of, like you're in that situation. You've got all these producers around you. You've got all these, all these crew. And we were just like, but like being little naughty kids. It's like, they can't see us. So we're kind of doing a bit of touchy-feely under the rug. And, and then I'm forgetting. You got a raging erection, and they were paparazzi filming the date, weren't they?
Yes, correct.
That was it.
So,
well,
we're in the water, and it's freezing cold, right? Freezing cold. And we get in there, and we're hugging, kissing, and everything. And they're like, okay, cool, guys, we got it. And there was a pap, like, over on the cliff. And so I was like, shit, I can't go like a,
can't
you
get
know.
out.
And also, we'd done something before, so I had boardies and budgie smugglers on, but they were cold, wet, so I took the budgies off and just had boardies, and I was like, we
finished.
can't go up now.
Free
'cause,
balling
you
out
know,
there, bro. That thing gonna look like a
Yeah.
like a wooden stick.
So I said, yeah, a very small wooden stick. But I said to, no, I said to Holly, I was like, you got to stay close to me now because like this is. And then after we're over this bridge having a romantic time again, and I had khaki shorts on I was free balling because I didn't have any spare undies, and so we're sitting there at the end of the date, and I looked down and I was like,
Let's keep this classy.
yeah, of course. But I looked down and I was like, oh, like we need to just pause
We just
here.
gotta
So they got towels
stay
and
forward,
like,
just
yeah, and
for a
she
minute.
settled me down and it was all good.
That's sweet though.
Did I go
don't know.
overboard? Did I overshare?
Well, you did just call yourself. You just labelled your penis as a small wooden stick, but
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
get
well,
past that.
He's just being modest with us black people. We know what's up. You know what I'm saying? Men of color. We understand what's happening. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. Let's continue on with that Stacey. Please.
Okay, yes, please. Let's move right along.
Too much wooden stick movement.
All right, that's an 8.
Oh,
We've got an 8.
Sensational. Here we go. What's been your biggest disagreement while planning the wedding?
Jeez, I don't even know where to start. I reckon we've fought more planning a wedding than we've ever fought before, and we fight a lot.
God damn.
I mean, we fight like love fight, but you know,
Intense fellowship.
probably the biggest fight with the wedding. Would it have been over getting a wedding planner?
Yeah. At the start, I was like, well, we can do it ourselves. It's fine. Like, it's, you know, we've got it.
Save cash.
And then we got a wedding planner, and yeah, I'll admit defeat. It's been very, very helpful. But I feel like it's just you constantly fighting about things. It's just because we take the piss out of each other. That's our relationship. We're always, but then we had to get serious and plan a wedding and not, you know, and so there were many fights along the way. The bus thing, like, it's just so many things that it's just, yeah. Anyway, basically, they end up tripling or quadrupling in what
Our
you think it's
budget
going to cost.
has tripled.
Yeah. So
But what was like the biggest disagreement that you guys have had? I knew it was about the flowers.
Oh, we have fought about the flower. I think every married or soon to be married couple will fight about flowers. And flowers isn't even a big thing for me. But like we said, I'm actually even just going to say a number here. We said $5,000 for flowers would be sufficient. Like that seems like more than enough in my eyes. And that's even coming from usually the females like, let's, you know, I was like, no, I don't care. Flowers isn't a big thing for us. The initial quote for our flowers came back at $18,000.
yeah.
Christ.
It's just like, hold on a second. We could buy, it's gross. It's gross.
And it's like, it's not that like we're happy spending money on our day. But I personally don't like spending money on things that I know are just going to get thrown out. Like next day, those flowers are they're just, you know, you give them out to guests, everyone, whatever, leaves them on the bus.
No, we want to find an old people's home for the next day.
We do want to find an
give
old
them.
people's home, nursing home, and go in there and give them to people. So
that's
then,
sweet.
at
I
least
like that.
then, you know, people can get some joy out of them, all the rest of it. But yeah, the flowers are always a big point of contention. But Holly's super chilled. She actually there's been no bridezilla. She's been chilled the whole time. She's like, I don't care. What kind of floral arrangements do you want? We're
I
like,
said whatever's cheapest.
what is cheapest? No roses and whatever's cheapest.
We'll probably get like dead flowers on our
Yeah.
table.
Hey, listen, I'm actually going to end this question on this note because my grandma and I were having a call about something about weddings anyway, and one of my cousins is getting married, and
450 people.
no, not that big. They had to cut down the number, so it was pretty crazy. But anyway, they were having massive disagreement about something about the wedding, and then me and my grams, like, we always had these like deep meaningfuls, right? And then she said something that was very interesting because I was like to my grams, I was like, hey, look, I would like to elope, like just what we're talking about, and I was like, oh, because I just don't want to spend too much money. And she's like, nah, money is not the biggest thing that you have to worry about. She's like, don't ever let the first time people that you love come and see you be your funeral. So spend as much money as you can on just this one day, if it means it, just so you can get everyone that you love together.
Taku, I
Everything's
bloody
all
love
about
you, mate. Like that.
Crazy, right?
That is exactly what we needed, isn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
we've
See
been
right
so
there?
stressed.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
good point.
no.
Crazy one, isn't it?
Look, we've accepted it now. We've transferred the money. We're now going to move on and enjoy the day and not think about that money ever again.
Yes, sir.
Because like
Absolutely.
the tick's coming back.
I
No.
like that point.
It's look, we're really excited about the day, and we know you got to
too.
spend money, and it'll be an awesome day, and we can't wait. It's just yeah,
Whatever it takes,
It's-
baby. Whatever
Whatever
it
it
takes.
takes.
yeah.
Let's go. We've got more questions.
All right,
11.
11.
Ooh. All right, here we go. Prior to The Bachelor, was there any other time you also dated multiple women at once, Jimmy?
Oh.
Interesting.
Define dated. What are we?
Seeing multiple people at one point. I'm talking, you know.
Can I
You know what I'm
answer
talking
this
about.
for you? Can I say,
Please do.
God damn.
when we first started dating, Jimmy said to me, what day of the week kind of girl were you? And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, when you went on dates, like what day of the week did you go on? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I think like sometimes I'd go like on a weekend, like sometimes maybe like a Tuesday. And he was like, oh, you were the Tuesday night girl. And I was like, what's that supposed to mean? And you had girls for different days of the week that you liked more than others. So if they were a Friday or a Saturday girl, they got a good date. If they were a Tuesday date, they got a shitty Barilla pesto pasta. I'm sorry if anyone's listening who was a Tuesday night girl with Jimmy Nicholson, but
Hey,
that was what it was.
That pesto pasta. I made a lot of effort with that pesto pasta. No, look, okay. I was in a very long-term relationship, and I came out of that relationship, and I said, I want to meet someone. Also, I'd been in I'd been essentially in a relationship for 11 years. Wow. So I never dated. I didn't do it. So I said, and Holly did the same thing. She said, I'm going to go on one date. Was it one date every week?
Yeah.
One date every week. She did for about a year. And I thought, I need to put myself out there. So I went on multiple dates, and I was...
One date every week for the year. So,
yeah, one date per week.
No, I did it for
good
6
effort.
months. One date a week, and it actually it really builds your confidence.
Absolutely,
I remember
man.
it kind of feels like a job interview every kind of date.
It's a skill.
You're asking about like what your favorite color is and what you do for work and all of that kind of stuff. But it was a really good way to build the confidence. And no, you did. I mean, I wasn't trying to say that you were, you know,
a naughty
You were in
boy.
the streets.
a naughty boy.
In the streets. A street sweeper.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think when you're single, you're still trying to figure out who's the right person. And there might have been an overlap here or there.
Yeah,
But let's just leave it at that.
How you called Felicia Patricia?
Hello,
No, no,
Susan.
bro.
Who's Susan? Oh,
Did
shit.
you just use your mum's name?
Yeah, that's weird.
That's
Whoa.
weird.
Okay, next question, bro.
Next question. All right. And we've got 9.
Beautiful. What's the most outrageous thing that happened at your hens or bucks night? Either one of y'all start. This is beautiful.
What's outrageous that happened to mine?
You don't even remember yours.
No.
Strippers or no strippers?
We both had strippers.
Yeah.
Jimmy had boys, huh? Boys strippers.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, you know I like it.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Do you know what the irony is? Holly's best friend picked my strippers.
What?
Because my groomsmen are so useless. The best man lives in the US. My groomsmen, I messaged one of them. I said, "Hey, bro, I'm thinking of having the bucks on this date because I got to lock it in with work." And he wrote back, "Should be sweet." And I was like,
That's it?
I was like,
Whoa.
I'm like, man, like you got to organize this thing. So anyway, I could see what was happening. So Holly's best friend organized my bucks party, including the strippers with her boyfriend, who's a mate of mine. So they picked the hired entertainment, and they did a bloody good job because the one of the girls that came that was just serving us and stuff like that, she was awesome. She like bounced around, everyone loved her, and
James,
That is not what we need to hear right now, man.
seriously.
she
I got my mum.
Did a great job.
Anyway, moving on. My lovely stripper gave my mum a lap dance which was really lovely. I think I sent a photo to my brother and he was like, "Mum looks like uncomfortably comfortable with that situation."
Comfortable.
Yeah,
She been there before.
She looked like she knew what
This ain't mom's first seminar.
Yeah. What did you? I don't
There
think-
is a photo of your mum with. Is it your hands down his pants, or was that your mum's?
Okay, let's moving on. Moving on.
Okay, anyway.
Whoa. Hey, hold up. Was Susie there?
It was
No. My mum was away. She couldn't make it. She would have been a vibe there. Like she's.
I need to interview Susie.
Yeah.
You do.
Oh, she's a clinical psychologist, mate. She will like rip you to shreds. That one.
God,
Yeah.
I'm actually scared.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. I think we got one more.
2.
All right, here we go. When you Google yourself, is there anything that comes up that makes you cringe?
Oh God, yes.
I'm an 80-year-old man, according to Google, I think.
Whoa.
Yeah, so there's a guy called Jimmy Nicholson who might have been like an Irish rugby player or something like that. It literally says, I think it's either, someone sent me this the other day. I don't know why they were Googling me, but anyway. And it comes up with, a Jimmy born in whatever year. He's 83 years old. And my photo. So I think, I need to sort that out. But
It's any shitty headlines you don't want to see, I think.
Ah,
For us.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
You can write
We
your own
put our foot in it
Wikipedia
a
if
few
you need
times.
to.
Yeah.
Just write your own Wikipedia bio, bro. I'm like,
Yeah, how do you do that?
Yeah.
Is
Can
that
you do that?
possible?
I'm pretty sure you can like hire someone that can write your own Wikipedia
Oh, right.
page. So,
I'm going to sort that out.
Taku, do you have any headlines you don't like to see about yourself?
oh my
I
god,
would like to know.
absolutely. I've spoken about this one a lot. When people are like straight off Love Island, they're like, Taku does not like black women.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've said this one a lot of times, and I'm this is actually a rant from me to the black women. I love y'all so much. I just haven't really been, partnered with someone that I can, show online, and like I don't know. I think like my journey like on Love Island was a little bit interesting because the black women that came on, we just didn't really vibe.
You didn't
So
gel.
that's the biggest thing that came out. You know what I mean? And every black woman that I meet is like, so we heard you don't really like us that much. I'm like, what the fuck? My mom's a black woman. What the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, I hope so. Shit.
Yeah, I love everyone. I mean,
Yeah. Isn't it
So
crazy
anyway,
what
yeah,
people
yes,
can
that's
extract?
something that actually gets me, a little bit weird. Or Taku always friend zones himself. Yeah, that's why.
Do you know what? I can actually see you doing that though, because you're so nice.
It's a
and
defense
nice guys
mechanism.
always finish last, unless it's you guys, because you won't finish last.
so he needs
But
to be like
I need to be nasty, hey, Jimmy.
he needs to be a bad boy, does he?
Girls, I feel like a lot of women like a bad boy, like a little bit arrogant, or you need to be more
What advice
arrogant.
do you want to give me some advice right now so I can get out of these streets as soon as possible? Please hold.
Maybe you need to be Actually, when you were first in the whole Bachelor thing, I think you oozed a bit of arrogance because you had all these girls fighting over you. I don't think it was but maybe that's why I started to fall for you, because I always like a bad boy.
The irony is,
I like a bit of arrogance. I like a bit of
gotcha.
yeah.
swagger.
I'm the boy.
And
do you
now
think
you're
I'm
not,
arrogant?
Now you're not that at all. You're the
no.
opposite. But maybe to be less like friend zoney, you can be a bit more like.
Mom, you heard what Holly said. Mom, I know you, and my mom hears this. So, moms, whatever that you said I should be, I'm going against that. And it's all because of Holly and Jimmy. Guys, thank you so much for listening to Back to Reality. Guys, thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for having us,
you.
brother.
And we've been needing to get you guys on the show for a little bit. I'll definitely tell Al that you guys stepped in.
For sure.
him
Yeah,
a kiss for
But
us.
look, guys, let us know who you guys want to see on the show. And yeah, if you guys have any more questions, email us at backtoreality@novapodcast.com.au. See you guys next time.
See you guys. Thank you.